I, 17M, feel like my mother, 34F, has checked out as a parent. In January I moved overseas to live with my father. My mother raised me with my stepdad for as long as I can remember. Now that I've moved away she gives me less attention. I need her every now and again. I call her at least once a day, not that she picks up, she's a busy woman, but not that busy. She's promised to send me stuff months ago that I'm waiting on. She gives me bad advice intentionally. I needed help with a resume and she told me it was perfect, despite it being terrible. She acts like a yes man and I need my mother. I'm getting to an adult age, but I'm not ready to fly solo. I feel like she's become distant, unreliable and unhelpful to get revenge at my father, who was those things while she raised me, but the only person affected by it is me. What can I do? You can call her out on it specifically, but otherwise it seems like she has hurt you. Moved in with your dad. Why did you move to live with your father? I agree that she's probably hurt and has decided that it's your father's turn to be the responsible parent. This is a good time for you to ease yourself into adulthood. Why would you be flying solo if you are living with your father? You didn't like her parenting, but you were able to escape it because you have another parent to move to. Now you are upset that your mom isn't available for the day-to-day parenting. Your dad is your day-to-day parent now. You hurt her feelings. You chose your unreliable dad over your mom who has bent over backwards for you. Your words. This is actually the perfect time to speak to a therapist. Make an appointment to have a professional third party give you some insight. Good luck, and I'm sure you're making everyone proud. When my daughter moved in with her dad, I wanted to be sure they had space to develop their own relationship. So when she would call me and ask my advice, I would always ask her what her dad said. I didn't want to undermine him from afar. Sounds like you're leaving something out. Sounds like your mom took care of you because your dad was a piece of shit and left you. Sounds like she had rules in place and you didn't like it and you felt you're a big boy and thought the grass was greener and you can't even figure out a resume without her. Sounds like your mom knows you're a little shit and probably is relieved to not have to pick up after you and make your dinner and tie your shoes. So my advice, grow the fuck up and deal with the choices you've made. She doesn't owe you shit now since you probably took everything she did for granted. It seems like you're very dependent on your mother, but you're 17. That's old enough to be independent. You can ask for advice, but honestly it's normal for her to check out as a parent at this stage. You need to figure out what you want to do with your life. Reading your other post about how your dad, even though you don't call him that, wants you to maintain a clean place, and your mom is checked out, you aren't growing to their rate. Keep in mind they were your age when you were born. Becoming independent is a huge step, and seems like everyone around is either too controlling so you can't learn, or too lax and confusing so you definitely aren't seeing what the issue is. Talking to trusted adults, teachers in your life is the next step there. Good luck. Move on and learn to be independent. You call your mom once a day. I talk to my parents maybe once a week. Whether you're ready or not, it's time to let it go and have faith that things will fall in place. You'll make mistakes, but learning from those mistakes will mold the person you'll become. Keep your head up. Wanting access to OP's social media does not make her a control freak, it makes her a parent. You also have to realize that she had you at your age. So she knows what she was doing at 16/17 and wants to avoid you going down the same path by any means necessary. So many bad things happen on social media, so I'm sure she was just scared. Now that you chose your dad over her when she was the one who did everything has her hurt. So her actions are coming from a place of hurt. She is human, she isn't perfect nor will she ever be. You are now at an age where the things you are asking her to do, you can do them yourself or you can ask your dad to do. You can't rely on her anymore. You chose your privacy over her demands and chose to move in with your father as a result of her controlling manner. Unfortunately, you need to rely on yourself or your father now. She might not realize you still need her. By the time she was your age, she was already a mother. She may have some distorted ideas about her role in your life. She may resent the fact that you chose your dad over her after she'd raised you for so long. Tell her that the way she's treating you hurts. I'm going to show your post to my kids, and explain this is why I tell you guys I am not your friend, I'm your parent. You left your mom, so it should be your dad you look for, not her. If not, go back and move in with her and you will have her more time and stuff. You left her for your dad. Sorry. We had a lot of fights. She wanted access to my social media accounts. I have a lot of private things. She gave me an ultimatum: move away from my entire life or give her access to everything. I chose to leave her. You should probably have included this in your story. She is basically leaving you to your own devices since you left because you chose to leave and it hurt her. Time to face the music and the world on your own. Just ask your dad instead or pull info from friends. Don't be salty because your mom had rules you didn't want to follow, and you decided to leave. That's not your mom's problem. If she has stuff of yours, there's a good chance she's gonna be footing the bill to send it to you overseas, and given your issues, I can't say I blame her. You are the age that your mother had you at. And why can't your father help you? Is he not around? Seems controlling, but who knows the whole story? As for the resume, there is an app called Resume Builder that assists creating resumes and you can email it to yourself. Best of luck. I'm just going to say this for all to see. She was justified in wanting to see my social media. She saw a genuine threat to me and believed I couldn't handle it on my own. I could and eventually did. She didn't trust me and gave me an ultimatum. She's told me she doesn't think I chose to leave her. She says she forced my hand. I have all my teens' social media info until 18. It isn't a control issue but a safety precaution for if anything ever happens to them. You made the choice to go live with your father, so you need to start going to your father for help. You can't claim a parent was abusing you to the point you moved out then expect them to still be at your beck and call. You probably need to change your expectations of her. And would it be possible to turn to your father for the needs you have? He might be open and wanting to help and be with since he missed out on a lot. Or seek great friends who can help you work through these hard times and provide emotional support. Heart. If you chose to live with your father, then you've made your choice. Your mom is washing her hands of you. It's not the right thing, but you're about to be an adult and you'll need to figure out. The non-custodial parent doesn't want to be reached out to when you need things. You must establish a new relationship with her, an adult one. You'll be fine. Yeah, you may need her, but you may just have to learn to figure things out yourself. Some of the things you listed have YouTube videos and stuff that can help. There are also online classes and programs that can be helpful, especially in regards to your resume. I'd say stop trying to contact her for a while. If she loves you the way a good mom should, she will eventually reach out to you. If not, then as hard as it may be, you would then be better off without her. What your mom is doing is definitely petty though. Is she using drugs? Or alcohol? Maybe when you left she filled the void with something unhealthy. Drugs change a person to a different degree. Ex-user. The resume complaint is not legitimate. You don't know it was intentional. If you do, you haven't explained why. Your opinion that it's shit doesn't mean she did and just didn't say anything. Also, a parent having access to your social media is not unreasonable. You're a minor. You threw a fit and now you're unhappy that she's not falling over herself helping you when you pushed her about as far away as possible overseas. You can be the adult you think you are, since you think your mother wasn't entitled to parent you, and have a big boy talk with her about your feelings. Sounds like she expects your dad to step up and fill her role, which given that you moved to live with him sounds fair and like there might be more there. She had you at the age you are now. Most people this young don't exactly know how the world truly works yet, let alone be having children. Maybe she wasn't ready. She did her best, but ultimately I see some resentment. If I were you, and I was at one point, I'd do my own thing and cut ties. You're better off without that kind of baggage. Sounds like you need to pull up your big boy panties and lie in the bed you've made. You've abandoned the woman who has raised you at the 11th hour and you expect her to still be at your beck and call. She's put in 17 years of hard work. I think she deserves a break. This is what being an adult is, time to start looking after yourself. Remember the time she was good to you. Find some mentors online. Work harder at something for a career than everyone around you. Learn how to be confident in any situation. Don't let bad parents ruin your chance at success. Become successful and remember how they supported you at certain points as a child. When you create your own family, do better than them as parents. You honestly sound like an entitled, spoiled brat judging from your past posts and this post. Oh, woe is me, my dad's girlfriend makes me clean the bathroom once a week. My mommy doesn't give me constant attention. I moved out on my own accord, because I wouldn't share devices with my mommy. Grow up. Your dad is your primary parent right now. Not your mom. You're 17 years old. It seems like you left out some pretty major details here, that are slowly coming out and they would change the whole situation. So you either add some more info, or rewrite this whole post, because it's unfair for you to portray your mother this way and seek validation, when the way this is presented is basically a lie. At 17 and not living with her, you shouldn't need to call your mom every day, anyway. It's time to learn how to depend on yourself. From what it sounds like to me, just a guess by the way, Op was having relationships with online users that he shouldn't be. I.e. inappropriate relationships with adults when he's underage. And it sounds like something that's been going on for a long while, hence the mom wanting to look at all his social media. She wants to dig back a ways. If that's the case, Op shouldn't have moved. Maybe she was concerned for you. Nobody ever thinks a mother has good intentions until they become parents themselves. I have a mother and I am a mother, so I know both sides. Everything I have done has been with my best intentions, but when your children react badly, they just assume we should still have a happy attitude because we are the mother? We have feelings too, and not just your feelings at all times. But give her some time. Losing a child to a very distant parent isn't easy. She is pulling an adult temper tantrum. She is very hurt that you left and went to live with someone who couldn't give her anything while you were growing up. Think about that for a minute. Now you moved with him across the world. You should talk to her and tell her how you feel. Send her a card or flowers to show your love. She feels abandoned by you and doesn't know how to deal with it. Unfortunately, we don't get to pick our parents, and yours have decided that you should just have a hard time. You can either let yourself be crushed by the lack of familial support, or you can thrive in spite of it. Don't worry, we always get them back when we're all older and it's time to decide nursing homes. Welcome to the new world where males have no ability, right, to criticize any act or decision made by a woman or other selected categories of person. And, if you're white, shame on you for even considering that you are not the one to blame. You should immediately write a lengthy letter of apology to your mom, and make a serious financial contribution to the nearest women's SJW organization. Now, shut up and move on, you highly privileged male. Bruh. Why do you call her every day? You're almost a man, act like it. Call her like once a week and don't be clingy. That sucks. Your mom had you when she was pretty young. You've been part of half her life. Young parents have a different bond with their children than older parents. Especially a young single mom. I am sure she is really hurt by you moving in with your father. I would be open and honest about how you feel. Make sure you start the conversation off with love. You are still a minor, so it is not unreasonable for your mom to request your passwords, especially when she is footing the bill for internet in your devices, if she is. You refused to give her the passwords and instead chose to abandon her. She will not admit it, but you've crushed her to pieces. She is dealing with the grief of losing you. You both need to speak with a therapist. In the meantime, distance yourself. Call her once a week instead of daily. Give her time to reach out to you. Lol, read the comments by Op before posting here. Sounds like the mom was well within her rights to be worried for him, and his response is to move away. Play stupid games, get stupid prizes emo. This makes me so bummed out for you. I'm so sorry you're in this situation. I'm 32F and am happy to give advice or help edit your resume, if that's helpful. Everyone needs their parents, but sometimes we have to fill in the gaps with other people who can fulfill some of those roles or meet some of those parental needs. My dad is not in my life at all, and I have learned to rely on other male figures to stand in when I need dad advice and such. You're great and you deserve great things. Good luck with everything. You only got your father now, kid, good luck. I know it's hard, but it's time to learn to not rely on your mom or dad but yourself. Life is like that anyway. If she is not willing to help you, you escaped from her control, and your dad is not reliable either. Learn to rely on friends, public services, and the like. For example, you can go to a library to get advice on your resume. They often have free services or can help you find help. There is government assistance for almost everything you can imagine, and there are also non-for-profit organizations that help those in different difficult situations. There may be one that focuses on people like you. It's time to become an adult. It could be worse. You could have been 12 when this happened. 17 is not too bad.